What is up, guys? I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're covering some more r/am I the butthole. If you're new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe and maybe that notification bell too, as it all really helps out our channel. And don't forget you can follow us on podcast too now, so you can take us with you wherever you go. And you can also join us on YouTube membership or over on Patreon if you fancy that kind of thing. And with that being said, let's get in to today's stories. Much love, guys. Our first story is called Am I the Arsehole for Not Helping My Husband Babysit? I never wanted kids. The idea of family is very suffocating to me, and I was never willing to date a man with children. When I met my husband, he said he didn't have any and didn't want any. A year later, when he was drinking, he admitted he had gotten his high school girlfriend pregnant when they were both 18 and begged her to abort, but she hadn't wanted to, so he had a son who he had never met and he signed away his parental rights. I was annoyed that he lied, but I 100% believe that men have the right to walk away. When my stepson was 16, his mother passed away and he found my husband's contact information from an old friend. I completely supported my husband, taking him and stepping up, and I actually really liked him. We have a good friendship, but obviously he doesn't view me as a parent. He married the most annoying woman ever and they have 3 children. He recently asked if we'd be able to babysit overnight so they could go to a wedding. My husband agreed and I reminded everyone I don't babysit. My husband said it would be fine and I didn't need to help. Well, that lasted about 10 minutes because my husband does not know what to do with children and he was begging for me to help. His daughter-in-law gave him a list of rules and things they aren't allowed to eat, so he's in a pissy mood over that, and once the kids actually started running around and making noise, he couldn't handle it and expected me to step in. Well, I didn't. I'm actually a terrible person and let them have water guns, so my husband ended up throwing a tantrum and locking himself in the bedroom. I did make sure the children didn't die, but like I stated to everyone involved, I do not babysit. They got into food they weren't supposed to have, no allergies, and didn't sleep at all, but they are alive. Daughter-in-law is furious with me because I'm the woman and I'm apparently responsible, and my husband is off sulking. Oh my god, really? So he took responsibility for these kids and then locked himself in a room sulking. Oh my word, what a man baby. And what is it? What organ inside the woman's body makes them responsible for any children out there? Not the arsehole in my opinion, but let's go down into the comments below. Test subject 025 said, not the arsehole, they agreed to your terms of service. They should have actually paid attention to your terms before agreeing. Pizza Martini replies to this saying, right, I love how the daughter-in-law coming from a place of no bargaining power has the audacity to be upset things didn't go according to her rules. FDAR also replies to this saying, daughter-in-law is wrong to be upset with OP because OP never agreed to babysit, though I wonder if the situation was made clear to daughter-in-law, but she's not wrong to be upset at all. OP's husband completely dropped the ball. If he was unable or unwilling to uphold daughter-in-law's rules, he should have said so up front and declined to babysit if necessary. Fickle Session says, not the arsehole, ovaries don't mean you fucking know what to do with children. Carmen Cage replies to this saying, yes, this. I have zero clue on how to deal with or connect to kids. Also, I really hate these situations where the guy decides something, but then the person who happens to have ovaries is expected to take over. Not the arsehole. User X Friendly says, everyone sucks here. Yeah, you said you don't babysit, and although your stepson isn't your biological kid, that still puts you in the grandparent role for these kids. Are you just going to wipe your hands clean of them completely because they aren't biologically related to you? You couldn't step up and help out family for one night because you didn't sign up for kids. I don't blame your husband for being upset. A marriage is a partnership and you couldn't step up to help your husband for one night with grandkids. He sucks for getting in over his head by trying to help his son out. You suck for not willing to help out for one night. Grow up. Well, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Now I turn it to you guys. What do you guys think of this story? Do you think she sucks for not helping? Or do you think the husband just sucks for getting in too deep? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to vote on that poll in the description for story 1. And our next story is called, Am I the arsehole for telling my brother his girlfriend can't be in the room when we're watching football anymore? So, I'm a 24-year-old guy, and my twin bro is obviously the same age. He got a new girlfriend, 21 female, around Christmas time, and I like her for the most part. Me and my brother live together, by the way. I have a full-time job, and he has a part-time job while studying, so I pay more of the rent than he does. But recently, since the football has started again here in England, me and my brother are huge Arsenal fans, boo, His girlfriend has been in the room every match that's been on since they were apparently joined at the hip, and she can't go and do her own thing for a few hours. All she does is complain about how stupid the game is and how it's just a game and we're dumb for taking it so seriously. She keeps trying to talk to us while the game is on, telling me about all the gossip between her friends and such, and I keep telling her I don't want to talk and just want to concentrate on the game. And she gets really offended saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry for tearing you away from your precious game." Though my brother entertains her with those conversations, and it's really annoying trying to watch with her loudly banging on about random crap at the same time. I also tend to swear and have foul-mouthed rants while my team is losing or playing badly. That must be quite often then. And she keeps saying I am childish for being this way and tells me to tone it down because I scare her. Yesterday, Arsenal won the FA Cup semi-final and I loudly celebrated and screamed in happiness when we scored, and she left the room and my brother went to talk to her and came back in saying I needed to go and apologise because I scared her so much that she almost cried. I told him no, I'm allowed to celebrate my team scoring how I want to in my own home. We argued and they left. My brother came back later and we argued again, and I told her that I never want her to be there when I'm watching a match again because she ruins it for me. Our relationship is certainly rocky because of this. Am I the arsehole? Now, I'm a big football fan as well, and I support Wolves, obviously. and basically, if someone was to do that to me as well, I don't think I'd be too happy if they kept just coming in and talking over a game when I'm trying to concentrate on it. And I think it's not just football, it goes with anything that you enjoy on TV, you know. Say if you was watching your favourite programme and someone came in and purposely talked over it because they weren't particularly enjoying watching it, that would probably piss you off too, right? So I gotta say you're not the arsehole in this situation for getting upset. You could probably maybe have handled it a little bit better, but not the arsehole regardless. Let's go down into the comments below to see what we can find. CJ26 says, so she doesn't like football but insists on being there when it's on and ruin it for everyone else. Not the arsehole, it's your house, your rules. I hate football, but if my brother or stepdad have it on while I'm at theirs, I find something else to do or leave. Sounds like the girlfriend needs to grow up. Empath says, agreed, I generally find sports boring, but I have watched games with my family members that enjoy it, and I watch it for a bit while I'm on my phone, or gone off on my own. Louise's 1987 says, not the arsehole, if she doesn't enjoy football, then she doesn't need to be there watching it or interrupting when others are trying to watch it. I don't like football either, so I leave the room if anyone in my house is watching it. It's not difficult. Her reaction to you celebrating the goal was so ridiculous, and to me it's a red flag, and your brother should be wary of that. Dry Martini 3 Olive says, not the arsehole, I think it's extraordinary that your brother is letting this situation cause friction between him and you. My husband and his brother transform into complete lunatics when football is on, and I have long since learned to stay out of the way and let them enjoy it. Watching football together is obviously something you've done for years, long before this girlfriend came on the scene. What she's doing is incredibly rude, and it's hilarious that she thinks you're the one being childish. If she insists on staying, she needs to park the attitude and show some respect. I can't account for your brother's bloody mindedness other than it's a new relationship and he's obviously got his head up his arse and can't see straight. I think you should try to talk to him about this when you're both not upset and angry. I think you can lay it out in pretty simple terms, as you have done here. Stick to the facts. You like to watch football with him, it's something you've done together for years, and you find her presence and constant unrelated commentary distracting. You could add that upsets you when she makes fun of the game, and of your passion for it, that it's not unreasonable for her to expect you to temper your excitement for something just because she doesn't see value in it. And that is pretty much my point right there. And I turn it to you guys. What do you guys think of this story? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to vote on that poll in the description for story 2. Our next story is, am I the arsehole for not cutting my business trip short? I, 43 male, get a call yesterday from my wife, 44 female, that my daughter, 14, has been hospitalised for anorexia. She fainted while hiking with her boyfriend. My wife says that our daughter wanted to talk to me, so she hands over the phone to our daughter, and we talked for a bit. My daughter asked that I come to the hospital, but I happened to be on a business trip and was scheduled to be in that city until August. The associate 23 female that accompanied me from my office is relatively new to the firm, and I feel like I need to be there should questions come up on her end. So I tell my daughter that I had work stuff and I couldn't miss, and that she needed to focus solely on herself. She starts bawling, and that sneaking feeling comes up once again, that a lot of destructive things she does is a ploy to get attention. My wife accuses me of wanting to spend time with new office hires and for being part of our daughter's problem. Yet from where I'm sitting, my wife is the one who has been losing significant amounts of weight in the last couple of years to the point that she's pale. Yet I keep my mouth shut about that while she continues yelling at me. I finally have enough and hung up before I say something I regret. Am I the arsehole for not cutting my work trip short? I feel like if I did, I wouldn't be much help in my daughter's problem. And if she is doing this for attention, it will only encourage her in the future. Holy shit. Yes, you're the arsehole. She's been hospitalized for anorexia. Hospitalized. It's not a cry for attention. She's in hospital because of it. My word. My heart breaks for that daughter that she starts bawling over the phone and you just see it as a cry for attention. And also the way you're talking about your wife as well, saying she's losing significant amounts of weight and you need to keep your mouth shut before you say something that you regret. I mean, oh man. Let's go to the comments to see what we can find. Karen Donna says, you're the arsehole 3000. Your daughter needs you. She has a life-threatening illness and you consider it's a ploy to get attention. Oh my god. Edit. Rereading the OP, this grabbed my attention. That sneaking feeling comes up once again that a lot of the destructive things she says is a ploy to get attention. I can't help but wonder what other trauma this poor girl has already survived that was dismissed by dear old dad as a grab for attention. A name I can't pronounce says, and quotes, yet from where I'm sitting, and then says, and where exactly is Arsehole Hill? You're the arsehole. Go home to your daughter. Cult Queen says, you're the arsehole. Your own daughter needs you for a life-threatening illness, and you put your co-worker's comfort over her. Just say you're having an affair. It's much shorter. Disgusting foul man. Cat283 says, or if he's not having an affair, he definitely wants one to happen. OP, you're the arsehole on so many levels. SFB208 replies to this saying, to be fair, he could just legitimately love his job more than his family. It would explain why his daughter has a life-threatening illness and his wife is desperately trying to lose weight, so her husband might pay attention to her. No less the arsehole for it, but it isn't always the young woman that's the attraction. But yeah, you're the arsehole OP, just so awful. Zippity Doo Diddly says, you're the arsehole, anorexia kills people and your daughter is starving herself. Your insinuation that you need to deprive your daughter of attention in a critical moment in her life to teach her some sort of lesson is awful and wrong. And the idea that some 23-year-old associate at your firm needs you more than your 14-year-old daughter is horrible. Your daughter needs serious help. By the sounds of it, you and your wife do too. Oh man. What do you guys think of this story? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to vote on that poll in the description for story 3. Although I already know where that one's going. And our next story is, am I the arsehole for refusing to thank my Wicca sister-in-law for her fertility spell after I successfully got pregnant? Short, am I the arsehole? I recently found out that I'm pregnant after a little less than a year of trying for a baby. Our family knew in recent months that we were trying, but having a little difficulty waiting. Although doctors assured us it was still a matter of time and nothing out of normal range. Anyways, a month ago, my sister-in-law announced to our big family group chat that she was going to cast a master level fertility spell for us to help with our conception. It was super weird to me because no one asked her to do this, but she's a self-proclaimed lifetime Wiccan, and apparently she carries quite a bit of clout with her local witch community. She said the spell she was doing for us would cost a lot of money if she was charging like normal. At the time I said something like, haha, thanks for thinking of us, and not much else. Around a week ago, I found out that I'm pregnant. It's been a super happy time and our extended family has been so supportive. The one thing that continues to bother me is how much sister-in-law has passive-aggressively insisted that her spell worked and was solely responsible for my pregnancy. I get that those are her beliefs, but it's weirding me out how much she wants me to acknowledge and validate her spells and magic stuff. I haven't said anything to her in the family chat, but I've heard from my husband that she's been talking shit behind my back, calling me ungrateful and rude for not even mentioning her spells when I was thanking family for their support. Am I the arsehole if I continue to ignore her? I'm thankful she took effort out to support us, but I don't want to be like, yes, your fertility spell was responsible for our pregnancy, thanks so much. I don't even believe in witchcraft, so I don't know why I should claim so in front of everyone. My husband thinks I don't owe her anything, but I've been feeling bad inside. Am I the arsehole? Edit, when we first found out, I thanked everyone for sending good thoughts our way and giving us emotional support and encouragement when we needed most. I did not, however, specifically mention the spell. I just thanked everyone for being supportive. Now, I've got nothing against anyone being pagan or Wiccan or whatever you believe in, but I don't think you're almost like forcing it on someone else if you're saying you have to thank me for that spell. You're saying you have to tell me it's real, which, you know, it's all down to personal preference in the end. So I got to say, not the arsehole for this. You did thank for being supportive, which I think was more than enough. She was being supportive and her heart was in the right place, although if she was talking shit behind your back, it sort of takes away from that a little bit. But let's go down into the comments to see what we can find. Dana Morrigan says, I've been a Wiccan for decades. This is rubbing me the wrong way. I personally have no issue if someone is legit experienced and wants to charge for that experience, but I seriously don't know what a master level fertility spell would be, other than cast by someone of said experience. I also don't like the fact that she told you she was going to do this, rather than asking you if it's something you wanted. While your thanks could have been construed as consent, it seems pretty high-handed, and consent for even beneficial spells is typically considered important. The whole thing just comes off as pretentious, and while it's absolutely a small minority, there is definitely a subset of people who basically think they're hot shit because they're in charge of a coven and have been initiated to their nth degree. Most of Wiccan / pagan community is not like that, which is one thing I like about it. But much like Christian evangelists, that they are convinced they have a more direct channel to God than anyone else, they do exist. So in short, you don't owe her anything, and a general group thanks for support seems perfectly reasonable to me. Not the arsehole. And it's nice when we get a bit of insight into it as well, from someone with experience. Call Me Clark says, not the arsehole. I think anyone can pretty easily sub in hardcore Christian praying for you for witch stuff and see how obnoxious taking credit for your pregnancy is. Congratulations to you. Sorry that your sister-in-law is trying to make your pregnancy about herself. Alosa Cryptid says, not the arsehole. Personally, I don't do spell work for or on anyone who hasn't expressly consented or requested it. I feel it's presumptuous and disrespectful. You're not the arse of having a spine and not singing her praises. She shouldn't need anyone to validate her beliefs and absolutely shouldn't be trying to force you to do so. Sister-in-law needs to chill. And I turn it to you guys. Do you think sister-in-law deserves the credit for the pregnancy? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to vote on that poll in the description for story 4. And our final story is, am I the arsehole for telling my wife I don't want her to breastfeed in public unless she covers herself? I'm not against her breastfeeding in public. I am against her breastfeeding in public with her breasts exposed. The first couple of times she did it, I didn't say anything, except hint that it might make some people around us uncomfortable. But after she kept doing this, I told her it made me uncomfortable and I didn't want her to do it anymore unless she covered her breasts so it wasn't exposed for everyone to see. I don't think it's appropriate where there are people nearby. She tried it a few times with covering, but said it felt like the baby didn't latch and feed as well, which I find hard to believe. But I asked her to keep trying because it would probably take time to get used to a new routine for them both. She told me she didn't want to try anymore and wanted to go back to how things were. But I told her that I still felt the same way and didn't know if I'd feel comfortable being around her when she did this if she's going to keep doing it without a covering. That is when she called me an arsehole and we had a fight. I don't think my request is unreasonable. I think it's only asking her to be respectful of people around her. I don't think it's a big ask because we're not even out in public that much. Am I the arsehole? Now, I know from past experience and recently that stories like this are always going to be controversial. My thoughts on it, you sort of like, you're feeding the baby, you do what the hell you like, you know, and if the baby is latching better without a covering, then you do that, you know. The baby feeding is way more important. But I know some people disagree as well. And, you know, I like to see those comments too. I'm very open to which comments I like to see. I like to see a bit of conflict now and then. Not too much though, you know. So we're going to go straight down to the comments to see what we can find. Our first comment from Kerry June says, you're the arsehole, a massive one. Let me get this straight. She says the baby isn't latching and feeding as well, but you and your useless nipples decide that can't be true. So then you ask her to keep trying something that makes her uncomfortable because of your comfort level. You're uncomfortable with breasts being used for their intended purpose. Megs2K replies to this saying, and quotes, you and your useless nipples. I'm actually crying right now. Thank you for this. Also OP, you're the arsehole. Gonna have to use useless nipples more in everyday conversation, I think. Acing Spades replies, you're the arsehole. I don't think you'd eat as well with a blanket thrown over your head either, although it would probably be a more pleasant experience for the rest of us. Pixtella says, you're the arsehole. She doesn't have to cover herself up for the sake of you or anyone else's comfort. It's so sad that you, as the father of a child, aren't supportive of her feeding her child. Stop sexualizing her breasts. Kat Lur says, you're the arsehole. Don't tell someone it can't be that hard when you've never breastfed. Some babies don't like being covered, and your wife is not likely showing much of anything since the baby's head covers the entire nipple. Not to mention, the only people who will see anything are those actively trying to look, which is rude. Dirty Dath says, that's fucked up. So instead of your child being able to eat when hungry, you'd rather them go without. I truly hope your wife realizes exactly how much of a piece of work you are and reacts in a way that either leaves you in the dust or makes you realize how incredibly terrible this makes you sound. Completely, utterly, absolutely, without a single shred of doubt, you're the arsehole. And for the final story, I turn it to you guys. What do you guys think of this story? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to vote on that poll in the description for story 5. Once again guys, thank you for being here. As always, you know I truly appreciate you. I appreciate the time out of your day that you spend here. Come and just listen to me rant away and talk. You know, it blows my mind. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Much love guys. Take care now. Goodbye.